Max, a curious little boy with messy brown hair and big blue eyes, wakes up in his colorful bedroom decorated with posters of spaceships and dinosaurs. His alarm clock rings backwards, the chimes echoing in reverse. He looks at the clock in confusion as the numbers are upside down and counting backwards. Toys float back to their shelves, and books close by themselves. Max's reflection in the mirror moves in the opposite direction, creating a surreal and comedic atmosphere. Max gets out of bed but stumbles upwards, his feet leaving the ground as he hovers in mid-air before descending headfirst. His movements appear clumsy and exaggerated, like a slapstick cartoon. He waves his hands frantically, his facial expressions showing confusion and shock as gravity seems to work in reverse. Max runs downstairs awkwardly, only to find his family behaving strangely. His little sister, Lily, with pigtails and a cheeky grin, is uneating her breakfast. Cereal flies out of her mouth and into the bowl, milk flows back into the carton, and her spoon moves in reverse. Max's parents are walking backwards around the kitchen, and the clock on the wall is ticking backwards. Max's face shows bewilderment as he watches the bizarre scene unfold. Max tries to talk to Lily, but her words come out in reverse. Her mouth moves in a cartoonishly exaggerated way, and the sounds play backwards, creating a humorous and puzzling moment. Max tries to respond, but his own words are garbled and nonsensical. His confused expressions add to the comedic effect. Max steps outside to find his entire neighborhood affected. Birds fly backwards through the sky, leaves float upwards to reattach to branches, and neighbors walk backwards while waving in reverse. A dog barks, but the sound gets sucked back into its mouth. Max's jaw drops as he looks around at the chaotic yet comical scene. Max attempts to run to his best friend Sam's house, but moves backwards despite his efforts. His legs comically flail as he struggles to control his movement. The exaggerated animations make the scene lighthearted and slapstick. Max arrives at Sam's house before he knocks, as the door opens in reverse. Sam, a slightly chubby boy with glasses and messy hair, stands at the door looking puzzled. He explains in garbled speech how juice flew back into the bottle. The two friends exchange confused looks before deciding to visit old Mr. Whitaker. Max and Sam arrive at Mr. Whitaker's workshop, a crooked house full of wacky gadgets and spinning gears. Mr. Whitaker, an eccentric old man with a long white beard and round spectacles, is floating upside down, his beard dangling toward the ceiling. The scene is whimsical, with colorful contraptions and bubbling potions. Mr. Whitaker excitedly explains the malfunctioning backwards clock, pointing to a strange contraption with spinning gears moving in reverse. The clock has glowing numbers counting down and sparks flying. His words are slightly garbled but mostly understandable, and his exaggerated hand gestures add humor. Mr. Whitaker explains that to fix time, the whole town must do everything backwards. His wild gestures and animated expressions make his explanation humorous and engaging. Max and Sam look bewildered at first, but then nod determinedly, ready to set things right. Max and Sam run, backwards, to the town square, gathering people to explain the plan. They struggle to speak in reverse, but eventually manage. A crowd of cartoonish townspeople listens, their faces showing exaggerated confusion before agreeing to help. The entire town begins moving in reverse. People walk backwards, talk in reverse, and even dance backwards in the town square. A comical scene shows a man putting ice cream back on the cone, and a cat jumps tail first into a tree. The vibrant colors and exaggerated animations create a whimsical, playful atmosphere. The backwards clock absorbs the energy from the town's backwards movements. It spins faster and glows with bright colors. Sparks fly and the gears begin to move forwards. A swirling vortex of light envelops the town as time resets. The animation is dynamic and magical, capturing the surreal nature of the event. Max wakes up in his bedroom to the sound of his alarm ringing normally. He looks around to see his toys scattered on the floor, his books open, and everything in place. He rushes downstairs to find his family eating breakfast normally. His relieved yet puzzled expressions add a humorous touch. Sam knocks on Max's door, confirming that the backwards day wasn't a dream. They laugh together, but Mr. Whitaker is shown in his workshop, tinkering with a new clock labeled Fast Forward Clock. The screen zooms in on the clock, which ticks rapidly, foreshadowing another adventure. The scene ends with Max and Sam's exaggerated, shocked faces, followed by playful, whimsical music as the screen fades to black.